you leave your little boyfriend in Kenya, you're like,
Mhm.
you always think it's gonna
That's
work
how
out.
I met my
Yeah, I
husband.
went Jamaican and never went back. So, hi Jamaica.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We are the Mod Afro Mamas. Yes, today we are going to talk about all things dating in the diaspora. So V, take it over.
I'm the expert, right? So,
Yes.
dating in diaspora.
Yes.
I think when I first came, I was so not excited to date. It's just excited to see such a pool of different people.
You are young. You are only what, 19, 18 years old. So,
Yeah,
come on
I
now.
had my 19th birthday here. So,
Yes.
I mean, at first, you leave your little boyfriend in Kenya, you're like,
Mhm.
you always think it's gonna work out, right? Even when people advise
Yes.
like this. I mean, come on. He's over there, you're over here, you're broke. It's not like
Right.
you have, So anyway, my first experience, I think the most interesting thing was seeing a white guy react to me. Because I'm like, oh, he thinks I'm cute. And it's so funny.
Right.
It's not necessarily that people say self-hate. It's just you've never seen a white person that close contact at you.
Right.
In Inoki. So seeing a guy look at me and ask me out, I was like,
Right.
But I did notice there was more black guys who asked me out. It's just, I don't know if it's just I don't know if we're just more comfortable because I was in a really white town. But
Okay.
there was always a black guy who found me on campus and you want to have lunch, you want to have dinner. And I was too scared to go for those things because I didn't have money. My mom always said, if you can't pay for that date, you're not supposed to be going on it. So listen, I'm a broke student. I don't have the money in my pocket. I'm not going on the date. Number two, coming from home, dates weren't really like, let's go out and eat. At least in my time, we were still too young. We didn't have money.
Right.
The guy sitting here and he's like, oh, do you want to go get something to eat? I'm like, once I picture Nikachini na Charlie, I eat. I'm like, will I be able to breathe, concentrate, and hear his accent at the same time?
Right. Yes. If you're lucky enough, if a guy says do you want us to go get something to eat? To me, I would be thinking he's gonna pay for this.
Right.
But no, you gotta have to foot in the bill, right? Which is different from home, because if a guy is taking you out in Kenya, you're gonna pay for it.
Yeah. The other thing was also being picked up for dates. So if there was a date, ulikuwa unapanda ma3, mnakutana kao, you've agreed where you're meeting. It was like a chips, and if it was a guy with some extra money, akakuku, And then it was just the excitement of hanging out together. Now here it's like, oh, can I pick you up? I'm like, pick me up where?
Yeah.
How? That was pretty interesting to be driven around and get, I've only sat in my father's car. Now I'm sitting in a dude's car, like.
Right. And to me, that I really didn't get into that, because I was in New York City, and when I met my husband, we were all going to school. So, and not so many people drive in New York City. Yes, the trains ran 24/7. We would go for reggae, we go for dancing and all that the whole night. Then you catch the train, I catch the train. See you tomorrow. So
you enjoyed reggae. That's interesting to hear.
Yes. We love reggae. So it was never a thing of, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna
but reggae. I actually and it's so funny. I went Jamaican and never went back. Now,
I know.
Sorry, people don't.
Velma speaks the language.
Nilipenda wanati from being at home. All my boyfriends or little associates, I'll call it that because it wasn't really real relationships most of the time. I was just always attracted to the music. That's one thing. And now that I think about it, now that I have locks and I look back at my kid pictures, I was always in braids or something similar to locks. Like, you remember how we used to do them with Uzi at home?
Right. Yes.
And I remember my mom always used to be like, what is with you and this music? So when I came here and first heard somebody speak like patois and just heard the accent, I was like, kumbe, this Jamaican stuff is real. Like, it's not a joke. It's not on TV. Like, it's a real life Jamaican. But yeah, I went Jamaican and never went back. So, hi, Jamaica.
Have you ever gone there to visit?
Unfortunately not, because those who don't have been married before, first hubby, we were both students. We were kind of broke. We were always going because he was born here.
Yes.
But he actually, it's so funny because he was born here, but he had a lot of roots there. He was a Rastafarian, so had a lot of those beliefs. No drinking or smoking, guys, actually. I assumed Rastafarian, or you guys.
Yes.
Taught me a lot about it.
How is your culture? I find it kind of similar to ours in some way?
I do, and actually realize there's a lot more Jamaican African marriages and relationships than you think. I guess maybe than I thought. I see a lot of Jamaicans date Africans and they cross mingle because one, I feel like back home we're very similar. Just the way our life is at home, like the typical life, watching on the rich people life. I'm just talking about typical everyday life, hustle, looking for your next big break. A lot of Jamaicans are the same way where they come from. But also a lot of the ones that I've found that are attracted to Africans are very intrigued about Africa. Especially people who maybe are more in touch with their roots and feel like, oh, I'm at some point from Africa, so I want to know more.
They have responsibilities. Like for us, I know I have to take care of your parents, so
no, they do.
You don't have. Okay.
They do. I've seen a lot of my Jamaican friends, the ones who are showing me MoneyGram and Western Union, they're always sending money home. There's always somebody send money to.
Good.
They're always trying to get a family member over. So I think it's one of they bring us kind of closer together. Yeah.
Yes.
How did you find it different from the way your husband courted you, being that he was Kenyan? And is there a difference between how he courted you here versus how you think it would have been if you guys were at home?
Yes. And I say that because it was just the two of us. You know what I mean? There was no other outside voices and all these things telling you, oh, this one is like this. So no, it was the two of us. When we got serious, we just made a call home. Yes, I have met this girl. This is a girl I want to marry. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was home, it would have been different. You have to be analyzed. You have to meet this criteria and this and this. As long as we are agreeing on the principles, as long as we agree on the basics, then anything else, doesn't really matter.
Because you have to sit down with the Watakuba, especially when deciding to get married.
Yes.
The dowry. They have to agree on this. They have to agree on that. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those traditions. I tend to feel like they're put there for a reason. Things like dowry. I speak to some of my American friends and they're like, why would you buy somebody? I'm like, it's not that. It's the principle behind it. It's before you step up and walk away from a marriage, you think about how much you've invested in it, literally, before you stand and walk. But I've been divorced before, and I think... One, it was really hard for me because I was away from home. I tend to think that if I was closer to relatives, there's things that maybe, mom would have said to me.
Would have been discussed.
Not that serious. And maybe I would have been more open about it. Not necessarily that it would have saved the marriage, but maybe would have either gotten me there quicker, to walk away quicker, because I held on for a long time just thinking, oh, what will people think? Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But I'm also very private. I'm one of those people that I don't like people in my business. Kama tumepigana kwa nyumba naishi hapa. I don't want to hear it elsewhere. I don't want my mother-in-law looking at me with a side eye. Like I don't want an outside impression, because I feel like I love you. I'm protecting your heart, and I expect you to do the same. So I don't want to put you to, I guess, shame in front of people. But it works both ways. Because I feel too much of either one is a problem. So a good middle point. Do you know what I mean?
No, much of anything is not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You talked about the dowry and how it is an African thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, when I talk to my American friends and I tell them about dowry, they'll be like, what is that? I watched this show of an American guy went home, met this girl online. Oh, yes.
I watched that. Ooh. Mm-hmm.
My gosh. Because the Kenyan family had so much expectation. This is Muzungu. Muzungu is coming, so Muzungu has to have money.
Yeah.
And they were disappointed because, listen, guys, even here, it is paycheck to paycheck kind of a living. It's not. He
was a single dad, right?
He was.
So either he's paying child support, which means dude is broke.
That too.
Or he's just taking care of the kid with him, which still means dude is broke. Kids are expensive. Kids are an expensive venture.
Yeah. But so he was shocked because he was told, once you pay the dowry, that's it. It's like you're saying, okay. Yes.
Take it and go.
He was calling, sweating. Oh, yeah, they had this dowry.
No, I will say I was very disappointed watching that show, only because I felt the lady did not represent us. I know it's a reality show, guys. I know it's like, oh, well, that's not really what happened. But I just kept cringing every time she would overdo things. Oh, here in Africa, we do. That's the problem, is now we're in a society where everything is social media. So we're watching these people on Instagram acting like their life is the ish, and then we're trying to incorporate that into our regular lives. So let's just be real about it. Let's have real expectations no matter what culture the person is. If you're seeking a genuine relationship, because no matter which culture you go to, there's going to be the good guy, there's going to be the rich guy, there's going to be the broke guy, okay?
And you're talking about, I think it's just being open, clear communication, knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
Just because somebody is coming from this particular place doesn't necessarily mean that they have the money,
It's not all pasta dinner sitting across from each other eating pasta and meatballs while people walk by.
No. How about interracial dating and eventually marriages?
I have friends who are interracially married, and one thing my friend told me is you can't get over the stairs. She's black and he's white, and it's either the black guy's looking at you like, why you black guy, or it's the white sister, the black sister's looking at you like, oh, you're a sellout. It's like, why can't you just be in love and the guy just happens to be white,
pure love,
whatever color,
Yeah, it's all about, I think, embracing the other person. You know what I mean? So that an African dude, if you marry an American, are they ready to embrace
your culture and everything?
Right, and the culture and all that. But if I had an argument with my husband or my boyfriend, then there are things that we don't talk about when people are around. You know,
right.
If I have a disagreement, Americans, no, they will sort it out right there. Doesn't matter.
And I actually don't think it's all Americans. So I actually know what you're talking about. And this particular person is Latina. They say Latina women are very hot-headed. I don't know. It's a generalization. So I apologize. Don't mean to offend anybody. But I have seen this interaction, and I don't know if it's the American part, if it's the Latina part, or I tend to feel like maybe this person felt superior to their partner, because there are people who assume you're African, therefore you are below them. Unfortunately, forget being black, just you're African, and they feel like I'm doing you a favor. So
then you shouldn't be. Then you shouldn't be in that kind of a relationship.
Don't date me, right? But that's how I felt, because I've observed this fight before, and I'm just like, are you really gonna say these things in front of these people? You're emasculating your man in front of all his boys and his boys' wives, and do you really expect that when we leave, he's gonna continue to be a man? Man or woman, it goes both ways. But I've seen that, and I know for a fact, no matter how mad I was at my husband, I can't just.
The things you just.
He would let me. He would walk out. He'd be like, "Are you kidding?"
Yeah.
He embarrassed me like that.
Right. And by the way, talking about dating, I'm sorry to go back, but people out here, it doesn't matter what age, all right. So that grandmoms have boyfriends, all right. They're
great grandmas have boyfriends. And remarry. You're remarrying at 80. I'm like, go ahead with your belief in love. But I did meet one lady I worked with, an older lady. And this is why I say power to these people who get married older and whatever. She told me her story, because I had said I'll never get married. Like, for what? For where? Like, I'm not going to start my life over again. To me, it was just too much. And you carry this guilt, because when you get married, like you said, from an African family, you involve everybody. So for me, when my marriage failed, it's like, now I've disappointed my parents, everybody who came to the wedding. You disappointed.
Yes.
What kind of role model am I for my sisters?
Yes.
What have I done? So it's a heavy, heavy burden. So on top of you going through your heartbreak, you're constantly carrying other people's heartbreak with you. I remember for a while, I used to have family that would still say, oh, Velma and her husband. I'm like, no, stop saying that. I don't have how do I break up with a dude if you won't break up with him? You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
yes.
One way I like that Americans are so quick to be like, okay, it's done. Like, life goes on.
Yeah, I think,
I met this lady who was like, she spoke to me. She's like, oh, my first love, I loved him so much, my husband. But we got divorced after 20 years. And I was like, and she's like, but I remarried 5 years later and we're still together. And now this one, she's been with him another 20-something years. So she gave me that hope. She was like, it happens. Right. Your life doesn't stop. You can still meet the right guy out there and you can still make a life.
Right. So, do you feel like an African child is given too much responsibility? And by this, I mean that even financial responsibility, so that you have to take care of your parents, all right? And like you said about the divorce, you don't want to find your own happiness, because if you break this marriage, then what about your sisters?
Yeah.
What about friends? So you don't think about yourself first.
Yeah.
Is that really healthy? Is it healthy?
It is not. And for me, I think for a while it weighed heavily on me. If I hadn't been born African, I would have said that I was depressed for a while. But I think we're not taught. There's nothing like that. you don't get depressed. But it's not an accepted thing in an African household. Sorry, guys, but it's true. I remember there's a time in my life, a year of just me and my little dog. And I didn't want anyone around me other than work. And I worked because you had to pay bills. I didn't do anything that was for me. You know, I always put my smile before I called home. Hi, guys, I'm doing great. Life is good. But inside, I was just really torn.
Breaking.
So I don't think I ever really mourned the loss of my marriage. And again, not because I wanted to go back with the guy, but it's still just a big change in your life. When you've been with somebody that long,
right,
it's a big change in your life. So that's one thing that I hope we can pass on to the next generation. Not that it's okay to divorce, but it's okay to not stay in a marriage where you're not happy anymore. If it's done, it's done.
And it's okay to find help, right?
Yes.
Therapy. If you feel like you need some therapy, go ahead and do therapy.
So in conclusion, what kind of advice would you give for anybody thinking about who's out here and dating, not dating, thinking about dating, who's at home and has notions about meeting this great American person? What's your advice about dating to them?
I would tell people to be careful, right? Especially in online, there's too much going on. You just don't trust people like that. You know, people will fake anything and everything. So it is tricky. It is really tricky. You know, take your time to get to know somebody. If you're knowing somebody, they must have the family, get to know the family too before you expose yourself, and then you're going to have heartbreaks. You know what I mean? No, just heartbreaks, but your life might be in danger. You know what I mean? Also, don't expect too much from people. Just because you're thinking, oh, well, this guy is from America, then they have money. Sweetheart, it's never like that. Nowadays, there's nothing for free.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
I would say slow down, and then be your actual self. If you're looking for a real relationship, just be you. We spend so much time trying to copy and you know, emulate things we see all over. Be yourself, and you'll attract the kind of energy you put out. And like my mom used to say, a man is a man is a man. So to me, it doesn't matter what color, shape, size, country. As a female, as a woman, take your time, get to know the guy, follow the same measures you would follow wherever you might be. And you know, when it's the right person, it's the right person. God will put them in your path, and you will just know. Thanks, guys, for watching our video. Until next time, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you in our next video. Bye.
Yes, bye-bye.